What happens when three high school friends reunite during a Trump apocalypse? I'll tell you what happens. They do a podcast, little buddy.
The public service announcement game.
You are watching Generation Exile.
Let's talk about the 80s for a second, because it's almost cliche to talk about like how little supervision we had, but it also doesn't really make it any less true. I imagine Mike always had a mother at home, just because they were kind of older than the rest of our parents.
Yes.
Jeremy, did you have? I know your dad was working full time and long hours. Was your mom?
No,
working?
I was a latchkey kid.
Yeah.
Yep. She went to put herself through various colleges to get her a degree, and then became a teacher. And my childhood timed just perfectly with the birth of HBO. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
maybe why I'm a little fucked up.
I'll tell you, I remember my mom didn't work when I was young. Didn't go back to work until I was about 14 or 15. And yet somehow I still showed up to an empty house every day. We truly were on our own. And, you know, like millennials don't believe it and Gen Zers don't believe it and boomers deny it. But I wanted to just real quick throw this one little piece of evidence out there that shows you how little we were supervised.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
That kicked off the 10 o'clock news every night. They were like, before we satisfy your curiosity about what's going on in the world, do you know what's even happening in your home?
Yeah. And the home run was when the first news story was about child kidnapped. You know?
Exactly. So
perfect lead in.
Yeah. So, but towards that end, you know, I decided to do this game about old public service announcements because TV really stepped in and raised us when our parents were not around. And we had like after school specials that, you know, we'd let ourselves back home. There would be an after school special and we'd see Scott Baio get high and learn why that's bad. And our primetime shows had like very special episodes. So anyway, all of this to say, I put together this game called PSAs. I learned it by watching you. So, we're gonna go through some trivia questions about some PSAs. We'll watch some videos. We'll have a good time.
Outstanding,
as we always do.
This is
I'm gonna start with a quick and easy one. All right. Quick trivia question: Which TV alien filmed a PSA about the dangers of bathing with appliances? Was it A, Mork of Mork and Mindy, B, Zarn from Land of the Lost, C, Alf from Alf, or D, Troy Garland from Out of This World, who was voiced by Burt Reynolds, I'll have you know.
That I didn't know. But Mike, you could go first, but first close your eyes.
Close my eyes? Second. Okay.
Yeah. Are you closing them?
They're closed.
I'm going to guess that.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, go ahead.
Okay.
Jeremy's got one.
Right, you can open it. You can go first.
I have a feeling you knew this one, Jer.
This might be where Dave and I's brains are connected a little bit.
I had something pop into my head when I heard the PSA, and then it was one of the choices. So I'm going to go with it and say Alf.
All right. Let us.
Wait, should I guess now out loud just for the purpose of
record? We already said you got it right. And
all right. I just wanted to do my Max Wright impression.
All right, do it.
It's 10 o'clock and do you know where your children are?
There's nothing funny about electrical appliances in the bathtub. It's very dangerous and you can get hurt badly. All that under safety tips from the old Alfer. And speaking of tips, that'll be $5.
All right, scores are tied at 1.
It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your cats are? Ha!
Do you know the actor's name who played Alf?
Paul Fusco.
Yes. And I think, Ben Stiller made a film about him, or someone did.
Did he?
I thought it was Ben Stiller, where he had like a pretty dark and stressful life, the Alf actor. He was addicted to some sort of heroin and other opiates.
That's a damn shame.
It's a shame, but it sort of gave him that edge.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So question 2, we're going to stick with aliens. I'm going to show you the first half of this PSA, and you're going to have to guess what it's about.
Alrighty.
So I'll give you a multiple choice.
I remember this.
Okay.
I remember this PSA very
All
well.
right. Well, here are your
I'm not going to
choices.
give it.
Yeah, but here are your choices.
But I just want
Michael.
to say this is the best like movie scene in the history of movies. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. So what lesson can we learn from this wretched hive of scum and villainy? Is it A, loud music can damage your eardrums? B, drinking and driving is dangerous? C, secondhand smoke kills? Or D, servers and bartenders should be treated with respect?
All right, Jeremy knows it. I'm gonna take a shot, and I'm going with my gut here because again, I asked myself if I could come up with an answer, and it matched one of the options he gave me. And again, it was C, the smoking one, the secondhand smoke.
Okay.
So I'm going with that.
Which
Jeremy?
clearly is not that. It's the don't drink and drive.
Oh, dang!
Oh God, I hit the wrong button.
I want nothing more than be proven wrong, but I think it's that.
When friends drink too much, even in galaxies far, far away, friends don't let friends drive drunk.
May the force be with you,
Yeah,
Jer.
Yeah, but fun fact here, Han Solo was loaded when he did the Kessel Run in 12 projects. So
You know, if they wanted it to be a smoking commercial, they wouldn't have had those 2 cups under like a bright spotlight in the background and hovered there for a second.
Yeah.
I think that was the real tell. It would have been a cloud of smoke coming from, my friend doesn't like you.
I don't like you.
I love the Star Wars bar scene. There's never been a better scene in a film, I don't think. It's just, it beats Casablanca. It beats,
I'm going to come up with 10 that are better than that scene by next week.
all right.
Not that it's a bad,
Let's hear
not that it's a bad scene, but I guarantee there are 10 better than that. Sorry.
The reason why I think it's iconic is just in support of my crazy statement, is that it became a barometer for freaks. So that very often you'll hear someone say, "Oh, that's like they're right out of the Star Wars bar."
Right.
The was it the Mos Eisley Cantina, or whatever its real
right.
name was.
A
Mos Eisley, yeah.
a sordid collection of scum and villainy is what it suggests.
All right. So question 3. Sometimes the PSAs are aimed squarely at the parents. The LA Sheriff's Department put out some PSAs, and this one appealed directly to parents by using James Sicking of Hill Street Blues fame to warn them of some dangers. I'm going to show you, once again, I'm going to show you the beginning, and then we'll have to figure out what's what.
I'm Jim Sicking of Hill Street Blues. Get involved in your neighborhood watch.
All right, that's actually the end, but I put it at the beginning so that you wouldn't see what he wanted you to be careful out there with.
Maybe that's a clue.
Well, that was the opening to Hill Street Blues. Let's be careful out there. So, what lurking danger is James Sicking warning us about? Is it, and it's depicted in the commercial, is it A,
I don't know this one.
all right, is it A, few Latinos hanging out and doing nothing? Is it B, a few black people hanging out and doing nothing? Is it C, a few kids hanging out and doing nothing? Or is it D, crack cocaine?
I find it really hard to imagine, even in the era of Hill Street Blues, that they would be so on the nose to have a PSA about black or Latino kids hanging out doing nothing as the problem, like just loitering. I think those two seem maybe a little bit stretchy, but maybe that's the red herring. I don't know. I don't know this one, and nor did I watch Hill Street Blues. I might be the only one who didn't.
I didn't watch it. We were too young at that
Oh,
when it
okay.
was on. I think it came out when we were like
Yeah.
7 or 8. You know,
Right.
Yeah, it was
we weren't the audience for
It was
that.
a little mature for our age range.
Did you know the song though? The song I think I knew.
Yeah.
Hill Street Blues, Hill Street Blues. We have
Okay.
all got the Hill Street Blues.
Right.
There is crime. We've got the Hill Street Blues. Yeah, great song.
On piano. That's right.
All right. So, what's your answer, Jeremy?
Can I have you read me the non-white and Latino and Black people hanging out answers? One was
Yes.
crack, I think.
Well, answer C is a few kids hanging out and doing nothing, and answer D is crack cocaine.
Oh, so 3 answers are kids hanging out doing nothing, just ethnically.
One is just a few Latinos, not kids necessarily. One is a
Okay.
few Black people,
Got it.
not kids necessarily.
Not kids.
One is
Right.
a few kids, not necessarily Black or Latino.
Right.
And C is crack cocaine.
No, D.
D.
You're going with crack cocaine. Michael?
No. Wait, he didn't choose. He just wanted to, because you said C, crack cocaine.
Yeah.
And
I
And
did?
it's D,
and
isn't
it's
it?
D.
Yeah, D.
So-
Sorry.
I just got like ejected off the Monty Python bridge. no, D. I think it's kids hanging out, and that the other 2 are sort of red herrings or subterfuge or tricky answers.
Michael?
See, the hedge to not lose my tie with Jeremy here would be to go piggyback onto what he
don't have
said.
You don't have a
You don't
tie.
have a tie.
Jeremy's
I'm
at
winning.
2-1.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it.
So you need this answer.
I'm counting on this. I'm just for the kicks of it. I'm going to go with crack cocaine.
That's what everyone says.
Here we go.
In the average neighborhood, this scene may cause some concern to the neighbors, but no one would call the police because a crime is not being committed. At a neighborhood watch meeting, residents were encouraged to call the police about suspicious persons in their neighborhood. Since the young men had no legitimate reason to be in the neighborhood, and since they were in possession of burglary tools, they were subject to arrest. I'm Jim Sicking of Hill Street Blues. Get involved in your neighborhood watch and reduce burglary. Call your local police or sheriff station for more information.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
so much wrong with that.
There's
Daryl,
so much wrong with
first
that.
off-
Ironbound makes videos like that, right?
Yeah, we do. In
So
broad daylight, these kids are waiting to
they're-
burglarize.
They're just sitting there. And who knew that they had burglary tools on them?
Right. No one bothered to ask them anything. They were arrested before they could talk.
Paranoid balding man across the street.
Right. My favorite part is the opening where he says, normally people wouldn't call the police because no crime is being committed. But look what we've done anyway.
Right. But that guy with the mustache was
Yeah.
like, hey.
Well, it's better than the police coming, arresting the black kid, and then driving off and leaving the other kids.
Yeah. That would have been
So,
true to life.
I wonder if those kids went to juvie.
Who knows? All right. So
Did I get the point?
Jeremy got the point.
Jeremy got
It
the
is-
point.
It is 3-1, Jeremy.
Mhm.
All right. We are on to question 4.
All right.
So some of these PSAs were meant for kids and adults to watch together. I got 2 questions from the next one. It's a long form. It's not really an ad. It's a long form video that was aired on TV and was put on VHS and distributed to parents and schools and teachers. It's called Strong Kids, Safe Kids. And it stars a lot of people. Let's just look at the opening so you can get grounded in this world. And then we'll ask some questions.
There are a couple of friends I'd like you to meet. Key McFarlane.
Hey, did I hear somebody say Key McFarlane? Terrific lady, knows what she's talking about. Close personal friend.
The first job I ever had in life was working in a children's home for emotionally disturbed kids.
And Saul Gordon, whose life's work it is to keep families family.
And this is a program for families.
And...
No! No!
Yeah, and about 57,000 kids that were trained by the staff of the Children's Self-Help Project up in San Francisco. Don't forget Chris Wallace.
And me, Mariette Hartley. Hi.
Now let's try that again. A 1 and a 2 and...
Me too, John Ritter. Hey, hello.
Oh! What was that?
Hey. All right.
Wow.
Wow.
I want to tell you,
acid trip right there.
Kaleidoscope of 80s.
That is a 42-minute video, and I watched the entire thing.
Wait, is it 42 minutes of people quick cut introducing themselves?
No. That's just the beginning.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
All right.
I don't know if I can sit through that.
All right. So, Strong Kids, Safe Kids. It tackled the issues of sex and sex abuse and abduction, and it gave strategies to families for how to talk about these things. One of the lessons was for the adults to become what they call askable parents. That's a parent who is fostering communication and openness such that your child doesn't fear asking you anything. So Saul Gordon, you remember the old man in the Izod shirt who likes to keep families, he has some ideas on how to achieve this. So I'm going to show you the first two, and then I'm going to have you guess the third one.
Okay.
Ideas.
If you'd really like to be an askable parent, here are some ideas you might like to think about. You probably won't agree with all of them, but it doesn't matter. Give them some thought.
1. 2.
Okay. So
what is the third idea?
So Saul Gordon has this list of things that are okay to talk about. So what wildly specific idea from Saul Gordon comes next? Is it A, parents should tell children whenever they're about to have sex to normalize it? B, kids should learn the words penis and vulva by the time they are 5 years old? C, pornography is healthy as long as all the participants are consenting and of age? And D, masturbation should be encouraged and discussed openly. Michael, you go first.
Well, I'm not going to waste a lot of time with this, Dave. I'm going with D, masturbation.
Should be encouraged.
And I finished my response early.
Just imagine talking about jerking off with Saul Gordon.
Right.
It's just like, whoa.
I like to use lube. You may not like it, but that's okay.
Hey, left hand, right hand, both hands. I don't have the same answer as you, Michael. You'll come as a surprise. Answer C. Could you repeat that one, Dave, please?
Pornography is healthy as long as all the participants are consenting and of age.
Yeah, that one sounded very specific in its listing of the make sure.
It had disclaimers.
Yeah, and I don't know if after watching a 45-minute video on Dave's computer, he would have the energy to sort of write out disclaimers at that length when he's trying to put this game together with multiple questions and all that. So that to me feels like a gimme. So I'm going with C, but I have to say A was the funniest of the responses. The idea that you're going to call Saul Gordon right before you have sex. Hey, I'm about to fuck this girl. All righty.
Well, you're right that A is not the answer. Here it comes.
All right.
3.
Kids should learn the words penis and vulva by the time they are 5.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't either. I wish I chose that one. Makes sense.
I don't either, but it is wildly specific.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
And that seems a little bit young. Although most 5-year-olds, they run around saying penis, penis, penis.
Yeah, but nobody's saying
Is there
vulva.
a reason why they went vulva, not vagina?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. That slide came out of nowhere and was never discussed again. It's just the idea.
It's as if it's been hidden beneath layers of opaque skin.
I just want to tell you that there were a few more ideas after that, and I just wouldn't let your kids near Saul Gordon, and that's all I have to say.
Pose.
So big X's for the both of you on that one. Score is still 3-1.
Are these your drugs?
Dad, where did you get those?
Answer me. Are these yours? Your mother found these in the closet. But tell me, who taught you how to use these?
You, all right? I learned it from watching you.
Well, you did it wrong. I mean, look at this. Look at this joint. You gotta roll the ends tighter, you see? And you gotta moisten this so it sticks together, so it doesn't unravel while you're smoking it, you know?
I get it. The time you spend with your children can be the most precious of your life. Spend quality time with them because it's the only childhood they have. From the Mormons, the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints.
You're on to question 5. So one of the ways that kids can be stronger and safer, we're still on strong kids, safe kids. One of the ways that kids can be stronger and safer is to make an attention-getting noise that's different from the normal joyful shrieks that you would associate with childhood. So let's watch the clip teaching this technique. And I bleeped out its name because you guys are going to have to name it.
Now, here's a very funny name for a very serious self-defense tool. It's called...
Makes a different kind of sound than the kind of sound that kids usually make. Why in your throat? Grown-ups don't even pay any attention to that because we know. That's how kids sound when they're playing. The self-defense yell, though.
Dino.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Oh, you're getting better.
All right.
So Henry Winkler is awesome.
He is a national treasure. So
yeah.
What is...
But it's a Shonda that they had the camera below him, so he had to look down when they filmed him.
It's so weird, that opening. And then he comes later on, he's in just the most random spot in front of like this dilapidated old like mill. With mountains.
Wait, as Stefan's or Henry Winkler?
Henry Winkler, same sweater.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Better camera angle, but he's just standing in front of an old mill.
Yeah, thank you.
Right,
I'm glad we're talking about the bizarre choices we've witnessed here in this piece, because I was like, am I going crazy? There's two Henry Winklers. One is the Fonz and one is Henry Winkler.
It's showing his range, though. That character is some different thing.
Yeah.
Hey.
Different.
All right, boys. What is this sound called? Is it A, the honk, B, the whonk, C, the horn, or D, the trombone?
I'm gonna have to flat out guess on this one because I have no idea. The second one sounds an awful like the first one. Am I correct in you calling it the whonk?
Yeah, it's honk with a W at the beginning. The whonk.
Can you use it in a sentence?
This self-defense sound is called the whonk.
Oh. Can I have its etymology?
Yeah, its country of origin is Serbia.
Is it a Greek word?
Serbia. It comes from wonkchek, which means to bellow like a small lizard.
All right, thank you.
So again, it was A, honk, B, whonk, right? C was
the horn.
The horn.
The horn. And D is the trombone.
Wait a minute. Now, do you think Dave mirrored the answer with a specific horn? Or is that all just to throw us off?
Yeah.
He got to like, all right, horn, and then trombone.
Well, there's clearly two sets. There's two pairs of answers to choose from here. You're either in the honk-wonk camp, or you're in the horn trombone section.
Yeah, the brass section, I guess.
So what do we got, fellas?
Who guesses first?
I mean, whoever guesses first is going to get it wrong.
Jeremy
And the guy
guesses
that goes
first.
second.
And Jeremy goes first.
All right.
So I'm rooting for the underdog.
I'm going to say the honk is too weird. The honk is probably it. But trombone being in there makes me feel like horn is the answer. I'm going with the horn.
Right. Jeremy with the horn. Michael?
I'm going to go with the honk.
Going with the honk. Well,
Yeah.
we have... I'm sorry to say that I forgot to actually include the clip without the censor, so I just have to tell you.
Okay.
Wait, we have to believe you?
Yeah. And the answer is the honk. So Jeremy is still ahead 3-1.
Yeah. I wanted to say the honk. The fact that a horn makes a honk should have been I didn't go that deep in my analysis.
And I don't know. I thought wonk would be different than honk because honk you can ignore like you do a car horn. A wonk, though, a wonk, you must reckon with.
But think back to the clip we watched. Did any of those sound like a honk?
I mean,
Enough
we're
to be
going
named a honk. I don't know. It didn't feel like a full-on honk. But anyway, we're all losers.
You're all losers. 3-1, Jeremy. There are 2 questions left. So Jeremy needs to get 2 of them wrong, and Michael needs them both right to tie.
All right.
It could happen. It could happen.
Could happen. Anything could happen. It is anyone's game, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm going to get right into the next clip. Just going to give you a little opening, and we're going to do the thing where we try and figure out what the cause is.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Brissett, and even though I play a robot on Small Wonder, I have real feelings.
All right.
Indeed she does.
For what cause Tiffany Brissett shed her robot voice and get real about her feelings? Was it autism awareness, bullying in school, respecting deaf people, or empowering young girls?
Well, I think, I don't remember really any autism awareness. And I think that's part of the problem with the 1980s. And that's why the pervasiveness with which you see it popping up today. And
I
RFK
don't want to
denying it.
I don't want to, get
tip the scale
in the middle of your thought process here, but I will say Rain Man was a pretty big movie at the same time as Small Wonder.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, what year are we talking?
Rain Man was 87.
Oh. So Mike is thinking pre-87 80s. When we knew nothing of autism.
I was going to rule out autism. I think I was going to rule out the second one too because it sounded a little too contemporary. What was the second one? Yeah, bullying. Come on, we lived in the bullying era.
Age-old tradition.
Clara, you didn't watch the Different Strokes episode where Andrew Dice Clay played the Gooch and bullied Arnold and Willow.
So I narrowed it down to deaf and young girls, and I think I'm going to go with young girls.
Well, I have to do my own thought process, and I'm going to channel my inner Vicky to do it.
Vicky.
Autism is not the answer. Sorry, what did I say? Vicky. I just say Vicky. Autism is not the answer. Bullying might be. Deaf, maybe. That's why she does her real voice. And young girls is kind of feminism, and that's not really Vicky. She's not doing feminism. So I think it's between bullying and deaf girls. And I think the clue that Dave gave, maybe intended or didn't intend it, was to say that she chose to give her real voice to do this because I guess they wouldn't have heard her fake voice either
if it was deaf. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. She wouldn't have to explain what voice she was speaking in.
Gee, my logic just unraveled.
You just totally blew one of those choices out of the water there. Well done.
Yeah, there goes deaf. That's gone.
I wasn't with that one.
So it's definitely bullying. I think she doesn't want people to be bullied. Do not bully. That's going to be my guess.
All right, so we got bullying and empowering young girls.
Yep.
Here we go. Small Wonder. PSA. Action.
Bullying.
So do the 21 million Americans who have trouble hearing. They don't like it when others shout at them or overly exaggerate their speech. Too much background noise makes it harder for them to hear. So turn down the volume. Most of all, be yourself. Face them directly and speak clearly. They'll appreciate it.
I was on
For more information, call 1-800-638.
So let's call that.
Ironically,
right now.
it actually was the deaf choice.
Yeah. I was close, and I sort of spoiled my own logic by taking a weird turn, but I think the clue was just that. She wanted to talk straight and be, clear, and God bless Vicky. And what's the actress's name? I never retained that.
Tiffany Brissett. She
Tiffany
became
Brissett.
a registered nurse in her adult life, and
Wow.
was a healthcare hero during the pandemic.
It's time to change your sheets, Mr. Jones.
It's too good.
We have to put you on a ventilator.
Do you want your parents to go into hospice? It's cancer.
Let's play out that last question, though.
Actually, you know what? I had 2 more questions. I labeled both of them question 7. That's why I got confused.
Oh, so Mike has another chance to catch
I
up.
still have a chance
Yes.
to
Still a chance.
Because it's 3-1.
save the day.
Okay. Yes, and we're moving up the class scale here. We're moving up from TV to cinema stars, and this is pretty A-list. So I'm just gonna play this opening, and we're gonna, name that cause again.
Clint Eastwood is a little upset. Now, when I hear about things like that, it really bothers me. I find it unacceptable, and I know you do too.
So my question to you is, why is Clint Eastwood a little upset?
Gay. He doesn't like gay people.
Is the answer A, drug abuse, B, elder abuse, C, veteran abuse, or D, land abuse?
Drug abuse, elder abuse, veteran abuse, land abuse.
Yeah.
So someone or something is getting abused.
And Clint Eastwood is not happy about it.
No, he's mad as hell.
I don't think he would give an empty chair poop about land abuse. That just doesn't strike me as something he'd be so angry about. You know what I mean? Go ahead, punk. Abuse that land. This doesn't seem like...
Go ahead and make my campfire.
Right. Like, how do you even land abuse? Like building progress factories,
polluting.
Like, what are we talking?
Polluting, dumping. Just destroying natural
the
habitat.
Native American. That was the Native American with the tear in his eye, I think, back in the 80s. That wasn't Clint Eastwood that was doing those PSAs. So really, we have to decide between drugs, drugs, elders, and veterans. Elder abuse sounds like a term that came after.
After what?
After Clint Eastwood's PSA in the 80s.
Yeah,
like
there was less
like
of a
the
consciousness of elder abuse as a thing, because I think there was
some point where we decided we should maybe stop abusing elders.
Yeah,
and we gave it a name. So was that before Clint Eastwood filmed this or after?
That was after. This is definitely, it's not elder abuse. Me and Mike are working as a team all of a sudden, but the likely answer is drugs or veterans. And if you want to lock into Clint Eastwood's conservative roots, veterans is probably the answer. That's my answer anyway. Veterans.
So even though we kind of workshop this together, Jer, I'm breaking ranks with the final outcome, and I'm actually.
Yep.
I think drug abuse is a little cliche. I think there were others who did it. I think, we agree elder abuse is probably not the case. I think veterans too, or veterans being abused was less of an issue then. I think veterans were generally more honored and taken care of and died before they really developed.
Somebody forgot the Vietnam War.
Oh yeah, that.
They didn't have to sleep on the floor when they were deployed to Los Angeles.
That's right. I'm actually going to go with land abuse in the spirit of Yeah, in the spirit of pollution and people messing up the land. I think Clint would get really upset about that.
All right, let's see.
It seems some misguided individuals out there are abusing our public lands. They're vandalizing our public parks and playgrounds, and they're overrunning our wild areas. Real nice guys. Some clowns are even stealing artifacts from historic sites. I find it unacceptable, and I know you do too. Because these lands are ours, yours and mine. We can help stop land abuse. As I see it, these people who are abusing our public lands can either clean up their act or get out of town.
Wow.
Bad guys abuse public land.
Score is now 3-2.
Oh.
I wish Clint Eastwood of then would meet Clint Eastwood of now, who's become a full, blooded Republican who gives a shit about the land.
Yep.
Well,
drill, baby, drill.
And Clint Eastwood now would not have partnered with an organization called Take Pride in America.
and certainly not gone to Jessup, Maryland. For what it's worth.
All right, boys. It is 3-2. We are down to our last question.
Sweet. My other tip-off was that I think he was in like a wooded setting. I'm like, what's he doing in a wooded setting?
Yes.
Maybe it's a thing
See,
about
I thought it was going to be so obvious that it was land abuse because of the wooded setting and because who the fuck ever heard of land abuse? Like, why would I make that up?
I thought there was a bunch of veterans getting spanked in that woods.
Here we go.
My chance.
Last question.
That was the Swedish fish of red herrings. Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to just do the question, and then I'll just show you the clip when it's done. In 1991, which of these auteur filmmakers made an anti-littering PSA for the New York City Sanitation Department? Was it A, David Lynch, B, David Cronenberg, C, Terry Gilliam, or D, Jim Jarmusch?
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I'm not going to be as generous with my reasoning out loud this time. Everything depends.
That bitch you in the ass last time.
Michael, you should go first since you are in need of this.
Yes, I am in need of this. I'm gonna kind of. They're all good choices, and I would actually love to see the anti-littering PSA that each of these auteurs would create in 1991, and I think maybe that could be the subject for another show. But I'm just gonna go with Terry Gilliam on my gut here.
All right. C. Terry Gilliam. Jeremy, who is your answer?
Gilliam's a red herring because he made The Fisher King, which takes place in New York, and Dave would have imagined the sort of littered landscape of Gilliam's film.
In that year, by the way.
Yeah. But that, to me, is a red herring. Cronenberg, I don't know so much about him other than like Heads Exploding, I think is his film, right? The Scanners film.
Yeah, and he did The Fly, and he did Crash, and he did other things with weird...
He did horror films.
Yeah.
But I don't associate him with like New York in the same way that I associate Jarmusch and Lynch in some respects. Jarmusch is like a fixture of New York pop culture in its coolest like era. Like you think of Lou Reed and Jim Jarmusch and Warhol and that kind of crew. And Jarmusch made some really avant-garde New York film. I know he loves New York, so I think Jarmusch is the answer. David Lynch, no, too weird. I think Jarmusch. I'm going with D, Jarmusch.
And Michael, what did you say? Terry Gilliam?
I said Terry Gilliam. Yep.
Okay. You are both wrong. Jarmusch was my veteran abuse. I knew I would get Jeremy with that one.
Oh, I overthought it.
So
well, good. I knew you, because Jarmusch is like synonymous with New York. So just
that was perfect.
The answer was David Lynch. And now it is my pleasure to show you the greatest public service announcement that has ever been made.
Can't wait.
There you go.
That is so
that's a
outrageously
heavy
over the top.
That's terrific.
Yes.
I love the close-up shot of the little rat's face at the end.
Yeah,
there.
and his
That's
little
pretty
fingers.
Yeah,
All right.
it's like a horror movie, like The Hud or something. Was The Hud? What was the one where they lived under the ground?
Chud. Cannibalistic
Chud.
humanoid
Chud.
underground dwellers.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Well, Jeremy wins the game 3-2.
Well done, Jer.
You are watching Generation Exile.
I really hate that sad loser, Mr. Newberger.
Who, me?